The basic format for each job employment history entry, of course, has the name of the company, your job position, and a date. And it depends on how you order these, but the basic information is there so the employer sees who you worked for, what you did, and when that applied to what period of time. Let's look at an example. In this example, the name of the company is MMR Marketing Consultants, and this particular individual was the owner of the company. And he says here, as owner of MMR Marketing, a marketing consultancy based in the UK, I effectively ran the company for 9 years prior to relocating in Spain. Managed a small team of 2 to 3 staff, prepared and managed promotions and exhibitions, managed a customer database rental list of several million customers. Now, this is just a quick example to show you the basic format of presenting a past job or a current job to your potential employer. Later, we're going to show you how to make this even better by making the language and focusing on the keyword and the skills better. What we're going to look at next is your training and professional qualifications. Now, with your training and professional qualifications, of course, we're looking at the training that has developed you into the professional that you are. And just as with your employment history, the best way to organize this is to include the most recent training and qualifications that you've achieved to the ones that go back further in your history. With training, we're talking about things that have helped you improve your skills, ability, and knowledge that can be offered to your new employer in the new potential job. So how you're focusing this information is very important. Now, you don't want to include every single course that you've done. If you were a lifeguard back as a university student, no. What you want, of course, to focus on are the most relevant skills that you've done. The things in your company, whether you have acquired skills, training in the job or in the professional environment that you're in now, or things that you've done outside of work. And they can be part-time courses or full-time courses, and what you want to do is list them very clearly, indicating the time that you spent on them and any significant certifications or licensing that you've acquired, and even perhaps any grades to show the quality of training that you have indeed acquired. Of course, this is showing your interest and your dedication to continuing training, to educating yourself in new fields, new areas, maybe retraining in areas that you are improving your qualifications in. If you have done this within the same company, it's of course possible to group your training and qualification areas in different groups that you've done within that company. Let's take a look at an example. 2009 to 2014, this person worked for the Bank of Spain. And what type of training did they do? Well, they did in-house training on new inspection procedures, which was an ongoing training. And they also had new security systems, which they did in May of 2013, and anti-fraud detection in September of 2012. Now, with your education, similar to your qualifications and training, you want to show your most recent education. And really, basically, we're talking about your university or college education. You don't want to go way back before that because it's not really relevant. And really, the further on you get in your professional career, the less important your education becomes. Unless you've gone to a very prestigious university like Harvard or Oxford. If you've done that, then your employer will definitely be impressed. The important thing here is to focus on the date, the name of your university, and then you can be the judge as to whether to include awards or other achievements. But keep it simple because it's the information that your recruiter or your selector is not the most concerned about. So looking at a quick example, from 2001 to 2006 at the University of Brighton, we see somebody who studied BSc Design Engineering and IT, and it looks like they studied it part-time. They did have a special achievement. They led a successful award-winning team project to design and market PASA, which was an innovative entry system for a UK company. Now, with other information, what we're referring to is really any other information that's relevant to showing your interests, skills, involvement that is going to be relevant for your new potential job. Areas that we can include with this would include authorization to work, if you need to work in the EU, for example, the European Union. Perhaps times working abroad, or maybe traveling abroad, volunteering abroad. Those could also be areas of indications to an employer to look at you and say that you have had skills in the international, intercultural world. Things that you have focused on that potentially could be relevant and worth your skills in the new job. Other areas might include associations with professional groups or social groups. And if it's a professional group, obviously there's usually a purpose for building your social, professional information and building those relationships. We could look at maybe a kind of a social club. For example, let's look at this particular association that this person was involved in. Recently completed term as president of the Spanish Sailing Association. Successfully steered planning and management of annual conference to a tight deadline within budget. And increased subscription income by 10% by providing more versatile membership options and accessible events. Now, as we see from this example, this person clearly didn't say, I just like to sail in boats. They showed their clear ability to both lead, but effectively manage and even improve this sailing association. So yes, this could be very relevant information as other information that this person could include in their CV. Last couple areas of other information that you could include would be one, for example, language skills. Now, this is your opportunity to indicate exactly what level of English that you have. Now, it's better to be honest, to take a good, accurate look at yourself. But you, of course, want to include here perhaps special training or anything that you've done to really enhance your language abilities, whether it be English, French, German, Chinese, whatever's important for the job. And a final area, of course, that's important in other areas could or would be IT skills. That's right, information technology skills. In the world of technology, showing your interest, your passion, and your abilities to improve your education, either in the workplace or outside, is relevant information, potentially in a CV. Let's look at an example right now. Enjoy developing IT skills by reading articles online and using new software. Take part in regular training seminars in my own time. Designed website to display personal photographic portfolio. This could be potentially interesting and potentially relevant for this person's CV. And all of these together show you a variety of different other areas of information, once again, very important, that should be put in order with relevance to the new potential job. And once again, the importance for focusing each CV toward a particular employer. So there you have it, from your personal details and your professional profile, your employment history, your training and qualifications, to your education and any other areas, the basic structure that you have for a chronological CV. Next, let's take a look at a skills-based CV.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. Let's look at prepositions when traveling. We're going to see how these prepositions are used to show location. In general, we use the preposition at for specific locations or addresses. Our office is located at 55 George Street. Why don't we meet at the entrance? Can you wait for me at the bus stop? In is used for an enclosed space, like a car or a taxi. It can also be used for an area of the city. I left my phone in the taxi. Oh well. The hotel is conveniently located in the downtown area. We live in the southern part of the city. On can indicate streets and the floors of buildings. It can also be used for public transport or to indicate the left or the right. The shop is located on Charles Street. The tourist office is on the second floor. I like to ride on the double-decker bus on the top. You can find the restroom on the left. Over, under, across, and around are also used to show movement. The boats went under the bridge. The helicopter flew over the building. We walked across the street. The tour bus can take you around the city. We drove our car through the tunnel. Let's look at this sentence. While riding on the bus in New York, we suddenly got off at the next stop. Then we walked across the Brooklyn Bridge. Remember, at for specific locations, in for cities, on for transport, under, over, across, around, through for movement.
Hi, I'm Anna Collins and it's time for a false friend. Often in class, students will ask me a question and they will say, what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of cabbage? What is the meaning of the verb to threaten? But in English, this doesn't sound correct. It could sound better. What you should ask is, what does the word mean? So, what does cabbage mean? Or what does the verb to threaten mean? So, in future, instead of saying, what is the meaning of, try saying, what does this mean? And then you'll be asking better questions.